Welcome back to the Spearhead 2 tournament, everyone. These are going to be the matches from yesterday, starting with this first one, where we have Erica as the British, already going as British Parachute, okay, and Valhalla as Tank Destroyer for the USF. Ooh, an interesting one. For the Germans, we have Box Bunny as Panzer Tactics, and Muru as the Wehrmacht without a commander yet. On the Fields of Kendonk, I believe this map is called. I suck at the naming of this one. We're seeing parachutists straight out the gate, okay. And we're seeing lots of the 28th Infantry for Valhalla here. A cheap replacement, well not really a replacement, but other option of infantry you can get if you're playing as Tank Destroyer. Here we have the Royal Parachutists, the 1st Airborne Division. These paratroopers should be really effective, but also quite costly. Looks like the Americans are going to be spreading out along the front line to support their British allies, but the British are going straight for the special resource points. That's a risky move because you kind of want to keep your territory connected, in my opinion, so you can actually get more out of your resources. It's generally a very risky thing to do, and I think people should be probably more punished for pushing up further like that without any actual troops. Although we have the paratroopers coming up now. And these are very elite troops, though, so they will take out the Germans pretty competently. Pioneers definitely not doing too well against the Sappers here already. British troops are generally very high quality. But the paratroopers might run into these Volksgrenadiers. Americans have already overrun the other flank. We have double Hitler Youth coming out here, okay, and the Kugelwagen with the 42. Paratroopers have already taken out these Volksgrenadiers, though. Force them on the run. And we have a commander choice. I think this is Leichter. Yeah, Leichter, okay. I don't think that the German Grenadiers are going to do well against this kind of force. Already have a Jeep coming out from Valhalla as well. This MT-42 has to be quite careful. Keep pushing upwards. It's going to flank these Hitler Youth, I think. Hitler Youth don't have access to Panzerfausts. Yeah, too close to the MP4 there. It's getting some good shots. Also, my own honest opinion, I think these light vehicles should not have the self-repair ability. Especially not this early. They probably need to be veteran before getting that, because I think you can kind of abuse that by just not having engineers near them. That's just a personal opinion in my... it needs to be more risky using these light vehicles sometimes. At least this early on. Like, if you get to a certain command point, perhaps. Command point, you can perhaps unlock the repair ability. But I think this early, it's not really meant to be like that. And like, there's just getting a lot of Jeeps here. Oh, God. What? This is an airborne Jeep, by the way, with the Vickers K. So, a really potent thing. We got some Sturm Grenadiers present now. I don't think the 28th are gonna last long out there, but they are getting some good shots at the Hitler Youth. Yeah, ditching it out. Paratroopers are behind cover here. That's a Gewaltladung though. Destroying the cover.
A new infantry section is ready for battle.
Now the Vickers K Jeep here should be very potent. It has a very high rate of fire, as you can see. Don't underestimate the Vickers K Jeep. That's a really potent machine gun. Rifle grenade on it though. That goes. 28 for flanking. MG42 is going to be in trouble. They're setting up on the open. It's going to make it very vulnerable. But it looks like they're just designed to pull back instead. Looks like we have more paratroopers dropping in. Looks like an officer. Germans are still holding a little bit of a front line at least, but it's not too much. Dropping some medical supplies from the Jeep. Now that's cool. That's the kind of stuff I want to see the Jeep being used more for. Like dropping equipment and such for the troops.
We may now deploy mechanized assault groups, Commander.
Oh, good job with the MT-42 there, already killing the gunner on the Jeep. And there we go, good job! Screw that Jeep.
Light vehicle vehicle just got destroyed.
Looks like a recon run going overhead. Got shot down though. Thanks to the flak in the base. And the question is what the Germans are going to do in this kind of situation. Looks like they've set up a beacon so they can airdrop in reinforcements. The fact they're stealth while doing that is kind of silly. And I really think that should not be the case. That's kind of one of the powers of airborne though, they can do that with the beacons. Coolbag will count as a recon though, so they'll be able to spot them. Looks like we have incendiary grenade going out. Oh, almost killing those paratroopers. Actually, only one guy left. Another paratrooper squad going out. ND-42 setting up. Airstrike coming in though. It's gonna force the Germans to move. Not an airstrike, actually an artillery strike.
A new infantry section is ready. Orders are ready to be issued for a raiding operation. A glider is ready to deliver a forward headquarters section and some supporting troops.
That's not looking too good here for the Germans. Americans are still trying to push him on the other flank, and they've actually had a little bit of success too.
Ready for action.
Rifle grenade did not do much. It is kind of silly you can just airdrop in reinforcements like that. They really should just have to set up the camp instead. I like the being like paratrooping in new stuff, but not reinforcing. That like makes no sense.
This is it.
So we have a telemine being laid on the road.
Regimental HQ for mechanized units will be here.
Fahrzeughaus Quartier going up, so it looks like the Waffen-SS is going to have to rush for light vehicles. Not a recon run, but the flags are quickly dispatching it. Fighting positions being set up by the US. And mortar as well, an 81mm. Pretty decent caliber. But the British parachutists should definitely be a big issue here. Yeah, airborne is rushing up now, getting Bren guns. Or one A Bren gun. Obviously they can still specialize in other things, but yeah, that flank is open here. And once that LMG-42 is done reloading, yeah, they'll start getting mowed down. The Germans still hold of munitions here, but we have a cheeky 28th squad trying to flank around. Command F1 going out. Hitler Youth and Sturm Grenadiers are holding the middle line here behind these sandbags. Oh, we have some Panzer Grenadiers as well, nice to see. And a glider coming in too. Nice. Two coming in, well 2-2-1 technically. Because he's playing as Light, I believe he gets them for cheaper? It's like they should get them cheaper, to my understanding. The American 28th are going to rely on satchel charges and other equipment, mostly mines, and they have laid a lot of mines. What is the advantage of the 28th? They can actually do a lot of anti-tank stuff. It's kind of the purpose. Go figure, because they're part of the tank destroyer doctrine. This 2-2-1 is probably going to need to be careful, because this glider HQ has arrived with an AT gun. Machine gunner being pinned. More weapons being airdropped in for the British. A pack howitzer and a mortar. Germans are taking the other flank though. MG-34 on the Hitler Youth, allowing them to suppress the 28th. That's a good pineapple! Ooh, did not kill the squad though. So Germans still in the upper hand there, and that's a dead 28th. Hitler Youth will cut them down.
Damn Krauts just wasted some of our rifles.
Machine gunner down thanks to the 2-1. Panzer Grenadiers is gonna advance now. 6-pounder might load a high explosive. But it's not. No, he doesn't have the munitions! Rifle grenade going in. Did not kill them.
The ability is ready.
American recon run coming overhead, I think. The Germans have secured their fuel now, which should give them a little bit of a head start. Well, not a head start, but try and recover, I guess. Also, minesweepers are present. Nice to see. Excuse me, let me just check something. There we go. I do love the design of the fact that you're like meant to be like a mechanized and motorized force. I do like that they use this, one of the sniper models for them. That's a very cool look with the cap and everything. And the light camo vest. Just a very cool model. Command F1 is still causing trouble for the Americans here. Looks like a 50 caliber weapon is being called out. Not that I'll do much of an F1. But they have double AT gun now. But good to see the Hitler Youth being armed with MT-34s. So they're meant to be more like, he's going to use them as more static infantry then, rather than as frontline. Well, not frontline, but assault infantry. Generally people utilize them as assault infantry to my understanding. Due to one is getting repaired. Germans are taking up. Looks like we're airdropping in stuff for the British. Looks like it's munitions, okay.
Alert! Enemy infantry!
Hitler Youth pushing upwards.
Standing by! Taking fire! Grenadiers ready! The command vehicle has gone steady.
Oh, not looking good there. The driver's injured and everything. Command 221 present. Technically, I think this is a 261 here because of that. Because it has radios and everything. Command tank could probably still get pulled back. After the early game here, this battle actually turned out to be a pretty competent one. Not sure what's up with this mortar, it might be bugged. Fighting position present.
Rifle squad ready for
Explosive shot going out.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
Almost killing the Volksgrenadiers. Panzergrenadiers have to pull back. Another glider coming in. Quite an air-land operation going on from the British. But I think that glider's practically gone.
What do you think you were playing at? 222. Airstrike out! We need some reconnaissance.
Another British recon run coming overhead. The Brits are being very diligent with their recon runs. But they keep being shut down. Man Panzers being repaired on the front line. We have some Leibstandard Panzergrenadiers on the fields. Really good infantry available to the Panzer Division for the Waffen-SS. Can be equipped fully with MP40s if you want, and also double versions of STGs, scoped and unscoped. Really lethal squad, actually. You can essentially arm them fully with MP40s if you're that kind of guy. That's what I would like to do. MG34 armed, double MG34 actually, LMG and heavy MG. Great assault going over the hedges. Ah yeah. But the Allies still hold both fuel points. But as long as the Germans hold the munitions point, they might still have a chance. Munitions are very important in Spearhead to my knowledge. Or at least to my experience anyway. MG34 is actually doing a really good job here. But it only has 50 rounds per magazine, so that's not a lot. F1 is ready again. Mortar half-track coming in. The British paratroopers have really dug in along the front line here. Pack houses and everything. Now keeps killing the... oh, killing the pack! And that's a lot of parachutists here. A lot of paratroopers. Airborne everywhere. Looks like the Americans have abandoned this point for now. Sherman A2s coming onto the fields. Always good to see the A2 in field. I always prefer the Shermans. Good gun. Well, good tank generally. Hans Grenadiers rearming the pack. Looks like the mortars and counter barrage. Probably to try and deal with the pack howitzers. Not the easiest thing to do.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Delayed fuse going in. A2's showing up. That's a bad thing for the Germans. Oh, one shot there from the Sherman. Oh, God.
We have lost contact with a heavy tank.
2-2-1 down. 2-6-1 is still present. Smoke barrage going in from the Sherman. But yeah, Allies are just chilling the Germans at the moment. That's a lot of paratroopers. Eric should just try and assault to push out with it. That's a lot of units that's just waiting there to be used. A2 is pressed again. High explosive probably aiming on the pack, yep. Killing the crew. And I don't think the Telemine is there anymore. Oh, the Telemine is still there. Obviously, that's a little bit too far away from the front line. And double A2s is a really scary prospect. I don't think these Panzer Grenadiers are going to be able to do much unless they can get close enough to use the Panzerfaust. Sherman knows to stay at distance. Smoke shells going in, very smart. Obscuring the machine gun's angle. And then the mortar back for support. Like, the Americans are doing a really good combined push here. This is a proper combined arms. But the Telemine is still there. If that Sherman keeps driving up the road. Pack is present. But double A2s might be able to overrun it. Not a smoke shield coming in. Did not hit though. Hit the barricades instead. Oh, good job with the packs right there.
We just lost a medium tank.
Brits are getting a Mark 5 Sherman. I'm not sure if the Mark 5 is the exact same as the A2. It might be a little bit different. Panzerwerfer opening fire. That's going to cause the Americans to pull back briefly, but the shots mostly missed by looks of it. See, Mark 5. Mark 4 A4. What is the American one? Is that also Mark 4 A4? Mark 4 A3. So the Mark 5 is technically, I think, a better Sherman. Technically. I'm not an expert on the Sherman variants, honestly, especially not the British one. Let me Seeing a lot more Panzer Grenadiers being called out. Probably a good idea considering the circumstances, but they are expensive, but they're much better infantry.
Stand ready, Kameraden.
SS Panzer Grenadiers are also present, being armed fully with different STGs. So 2 scoped and 2 unscoped. And the officer has an MP40. At least I think he has an MP40. Hard to see when they're stealthed. Mark 5 is pushing upwards. Getting armed with a 50 cal and a bulldozer. Yeah, the Germans are lacking the equipment to stop the Allied push. Eric is just being far too timid at the moment. Their flank is just barely covered. It's mostly the Waffen SS front that is trying to hold together.
Very nice. Taking infantry fire. Button her up. Big push.
Explosive going in on the Panzer Grenadiers. He probably have gone for the pack, but he didn't. He probably didn't know the pack was there. Mark 5 got shot there by the pack. Then a recon run going on. The Royal Air Force is losing a lot of pilots today. Very risky moves. Very risky recon moves right there. Artillery being called in the pack and the 261. Panzerwerfer is probably ready to fire soon. Yep, 30 seconds. We also have a Firefly now. So the British have all the equipment they need right now. 28th Infantry is trying to make a push up here. It's not looking too good here for the Germans. The Allies seems to need to push in and end it. They have the power to, I think. Oh, high explosive killing a squad there. Looks like it might have been the Storm Grenadiers? Not the Storm Grenadiers. I really cannot tell. It might have been a Hitler Youth squad, actually. Panzerwerfer flying close range. Aiming for the British tanks, I believe. Oh yeah, real good shots right there. Just demolishing the British tanks. Very good job with the Panzerwerfer. It's an exceptional good anti-vehicle artillery piece. Panzer Grenadiers need to reinforce. Double packs are moving up. But packs are not going to do much against British infantry. And the pack howitzers is just proving to be too much as well. Mortar half track down. Oh, good shot there from the 6-pounder. That's a really narrow shot right there. A great assault and not hitting anything. High explosive going in return, I think. That's not going to do much. Leipzig out on the open are very vulnerable. And the Germans have lost practically all their stuff. And this officer out in the open is not going to do much. Both SS Hitler Youth are not gonna last long. Come on, allies, just push in and end it. You have the stuff. Look at all these troops in reserve. I like the idea of having a second defense line, but you still just have the means to push in.
Ready, set, infantry! Hit! AT destroyed! Combat promotion!
Yeah, these Storm Grenadiers not gonna last long. Panzerjäger's being called, but I don't think it's gonna do much. It's just a little too late at this point. Even another glider's coming in. And they've also cut them off. They basically base locked the Germans again.
Now have access to additional
Here they come. That's a lot of parachutists we've seen on this map. Come on, allies. Get in there and finish them off. And even just pack housing the base now. That's just... I never really liked base bombing. Personally, I really never really liked base bombing at all. Yeah, push in. Finish them off, probably. Don't be a coward. Ooh, those airborne are getting mowed down though. Good job, Panzergrenadiers. I think at Iron Will. Ah. Meanwhile, the American tanks are starting to push in the SS. Looks like they hear... Oh, they surrendered just as if we're going to do a final charge. Well, that was the first match of yesterday. And I'll see you on the next one.